Welcome back to the arena. It has been a long 5 years since we've last seen competition here, but the battle will be as fierce as ever. Each matchup will consist of 3 matches, with Rapidus, Link, and Gojira making an appearance. Consistency is the key factor for winning in this competition, as the victor is decided with the sum of the scores across the 3 robots. Let's move over to the pit, where our bottom 8 seeds will compete for a spot in the single elimination bracket against the gatekeepers. These players have high stakes, 0 resets, and 1 chance to prove themselves. With expectations, nerves, and everyone watching, who will rise up and prove themselves to be the single-player champion. Here we are in the pit, starting off with both a familiar and a new face. Evan 10690 is a newer player, eager to prove himself on the field. Having placed 8th out of the qualification phase, he is looking to solidify himself in SRC history among the name brand players. Armed with a self-invented Gojira tech and extensive practice on each robot, he is ready to create upsets in the arena. Gavin 2337, the 9th seed and 2025 ladder finalist, is hunting for his 3rd event win today. This player has not committed to one particular robot, but 2, opting to leave his Rapidus score low and focus on beating out opponents through higher Gojira and Link scores. Without further ado, let's get started on our matches.
Okay, folks, here we go. Matchup number 1, Evan on the left, Gavin on the right, starting off here with Link in the autonomous period. Both players getting back around the same time, putting up a cycle around the same time. Evan missing a few, giving Gavin the early lead of 7 points. Both players putting up a second cycle, and coming out of the autonomous period, Gavin is going to have the 10-point lead. But there is still the transition period for that to change. Both players putting up one last cycle. Evan a little bit late to the party, but gets most of those in nonetheless. But that does mean Gavin is going to come out ahead with 11 points in lead. Evan is going to have to work hard to make back this deficit from transition, but it is definitely possible. 11 points is a very close match. 5 seconds left in this inactive period. Both players just pushing over fuel to their side of the field. Evan back early. Gavin a little bit late. Let's see if Evan can keep this time lead. Maybe that will allow him to take back this match. Gavin looking very fast, though, still keeping a lead. A little bit of a diminishing return here, though. Not as far ahead as he once was. Evan getting his 4th cycle. Gavin going for a 5th. Evan with the lead, but Gavin takes it right back with that small 5th cycle. But his lead has shrunk to only 4 points instead of that 11. So Evan is definitely catching up. If he can do that again, he might take this match away from Gavin. 5 seconds left in this inactive period. Both players going back early this time and shooting simultaneously up and into those activated hubs. 302 to 299. Very, very close match here. Both players wanting to take the very first match of the 12-4. Evan now with the lead, but getting a little bit stuck up on some fuel, meaning Gavin takes the lead and has a 1-cycle advantage over him now. This is a tragedy for Evan 10690. As we hit endgame, Evan is still 29 points behind Gavin, and he shows no signs of slowing down. Evan is going to have to hope for some miracle here to take this match after being within 5 points for most of it. 10 seconds left in the match. Gavin and Evan both going for last cycles here before going for climbs. Can they both get it? And time expires. Looks like they do. Evan brings it back, but it wasn't enough. 514 to 519. 5 points separating these two alliances. Very close match. Let's move on to match number 2 on Gojira. Evan shoving up 7 fuel. Those were most of his preloads, while Gavin goes straight to the midline. Looks like it's going to be a better cycle for Evan thanks to those preloads that he had scored. Gavin getting a little bit quicker to the hub before the end of the autonomous period. It looks like Gavin with the lead coming out of auto, but with one more cycle, let's see who will come out on top from transition. Looks like Evan with the lead by 3 points, the opposite of what we saw last time. Gavin pruning his midfield thing there. Evan trying to get the tech, doesn't get that many, but does get a few, hoping to shove him ahead of Gavin. Gavin shooting earlier with a higher arc on his shots, but Evan not too far behind. Gavin still with the deficit here, but he is faster than Evan is, going back to the mid of the field and grabbing a full cycle. 6 seconds left in this period. Evan is 5 points ahead, and with this cycle, maybe he can be more ahead, but Gavin looks to change that with a small fourth cycle as well. 354 to 337. 360 here is what you want to be for pace of 700. So Gavin and Evan are both looking very good to make that 700 point mark. Even so, just barely. 3 seconds left in this active shift. Gavin going for his more high arcing shots. Evan with a better tech this time gets a huge bunch of fuel in right away. Only 4 points behind now, making up that deficit from the first active cycle. Gavin, though, not wanting to lose this match either, looking to keep his lead all the way until the end of this match. Now, though, we are into endgame, and the players are trying to make sure that they can get 3 more cycles in and a climb. Evan already with his climbers up. Gavin going back. No climbers yet. 14 seconds left in this match. Both players very, very close. Gavin still with the lead, but only by 5 points at this time. Gavin shooting one last cycle. Evan doing the same, a little bit behind. 2 seconds left on the clock. Can they get their climbs? They do, but Gavin keeps the lead for a final score of 689 to 702. Current standings, Gavin is ahead, but only by 18 points. We have Rapidus left. Let's see if that will shake up the standings. Here we go. Gavin shooting a preload right away. A little bit of a mistake there, but does not set him back too much. Looks like tied game here, 17 to 17. After that first cycle. Very, very close match here. Gavin a little bit stuck up on some fuel. Evan not doing so. And then Gavin misses a whole cycle. Tragedy has struck for this blue alliance here on the right. After the transition period, Evan with the huge lead here. We see 2 different strategies. Evan pushing fuel while Gavin is over there just passing fuel over to his side of the field. There goes Evan pushing a bunch of fuel to his alliance zone. 3 seconds left until the start. Evan's lined up. Gavin a little bit late to the party, but not by too much. Trying to score his first cycle up there. Most of those miss, though, tragically. Does get his second one in there. Nice and clean, though. Evan doing a bunch of cycles from the midline. Going, just shooting up and into the hub. Looks very consistent. 2 seconds left in the cycle. Evan getting one last bit in. Gavin doing the same. Looks like huge lead for Evan here, though, 176 to 116. He's now going to push. Gavin having a little bit of connection issues, going a little bit crazy now, it looks like. Down by 6, he has to make up the score, but now he's scoring in the Blue Alliance's hub. Very weird to see here. There he goes again. And now Evan is going to be scoring back in his Alliance's hub. There he goes. Scoring up and in. Gavin just staying over on the blue side of the field for some reason. 30 seconds left in the match, meaning endgame is upon us. Gavin, I think, is throwing this game away, meaning he probably will not win this matchup. Looks like Evan not giving up, though, crossing the 300-point threshold. There he goes again. Less than 10 seconds left in the match, going for one more cycle. 3 seconds left. Maybe he's going to go for the climb, try and get it last second. Does not happen, though. 339 to 116. And your final match scores will be 1542 to 1246, almost a 300-point difference. And Gavin is knocked out of the tournament.
Gavin is the first to fall in this event after a struggle with the Rapidus robot. This means Evan will move on to face our first ranked seed in match number 5. Brendan 7 is an interesting player to take the 10th seed. Despite 0 event wins under his belt, he has accumulated 10 world records, even holding Gojira 4 a time. He has proven himself time and time again to be able to put up high scores in single player, but today we will find out if he can also do that consistently. Ben 2783 takes our 7th seed for this event. He is one of the few players that put an emphasis on practicing Rapidus, which does put him at a deficit when it comes to the other 2 robots. We will see if this strategy worked well for him today.
Welcome to round 1, match number 2, Brendan versus Ben. We are off in the autonomous period. This is a rapid v rapid matchup here. Pretty even so far through the first part of autonomous. Ben starting to pull away slightly with his cycle. Really different strategy there during autonomous. About a 10-point lead for Ben coming out of auto. Ben mostly using the French, and Brendan always going over the bump in the middle. As we hit the inactive period for both robots, they start feeding to the other side of the field here to prepare for the active hub. So a 10-point lead for Ben after that first active period. Both robots coming back to shoot as the hub activates. Pretty similar strategies you see as they both go to the human player station. Ben is extending his lead during this active period, a bit more accurate with his shots, it appears, during this cycle. 40-point lead as we get to about a minute and a half left. The hubs deactivate, and Ben has extended his lead all the way to 70 points. Brendan has a lot of work to do. Both robots start passing back to their side of the field during this inactive period. Slightly different strategies here as they're passing. You see Ben is pushing some of the fuel, beaching on some of the fuel. The hub is activating for both robots. Appears some misses possibly from Brendan there. As the hub activates, Ben has not started shooting yet during this active period, and now he's off. Still a large lead, even though he missed a few chances there during that active cycle. Still about a 50-point lead here as we are approaching the end game period. Ben is extending his lead, almost 80 points now. 20 seconds left. Brendan will have to pull off a miracle to have a chance in this rapid matchup. You'll likely need some climb on the tower to save him. 10 seconds left. The lead is still pretty large for Ben. As both robots take their last cycles here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both robots attempt to climb. Ben may have got it. Brendan did not, it appears. Final score 348 to 268 for Ben, an 80-point difference. He pulled out to about a 70-point lead pretty early in that match, and it did not get much closer. Match number 2 starting with Link. Pretty similar strategies so far, both robots going under the trench for their autonomous period, even on their first cycle. And taking a slight lead on his second cycle here as the autonomous period is ending. And he gets stuck slightly going underneath the trench, so Brendan has a good chance to hold a lead here out of the first cycle. Slight lead for Brendan. Both robots start to pass during their inactive cycle here. Ben mostly going for pushing the fuel, and whereas Brendan is shooting off his fuel during the cycle. We'll see which strategy pays off. Interesting to see complete opposite passing strategies during this inactive period. As the hub activates, Ben shooting just slightly faster, but still just behind. You can see Ben actually leaving his side of the field to go pick up more fuel during the active cycle. Seems to be a working strategy. He's still holding about 4 points behind, so not falling behind here. As that cycle ends, a 1-point lead for Brendan. And this time, during the inactive cycle, starting to pass some more, actually shooting instead of just pushing. So he appears to like to hoard the balls just under the hub instead of actually passing them to the other side of the field. Last cycle starts here. Ben just started shooting slightly before, but Brendan has more fuel ready. The cycle pattern has gotten slightly off here, so it's hard to tell who's actually ahead. It'll come down to who can get the last period. Ben actually beaches himself during this active period. This is not going to help his chances here. Still slightly lead for Brendan as we approach the endgame period. Both robots firing away. 20 seconds left. Is a 3-point lead for Brendan. It's going to matter who can shoot the most balls right at the end here. Still about a 10-point lead with 10 seconds left. This may come down to the climb on the tower. And beaching slightly in that last cycle. He has time. 3, 2, 1. An incredibly close match here on the Link. Ben still has a significant lead, but Brendan has pulled it back slightly. Starting with the final match here on Jira. Both robots pretty even out of the gate. A slight lead for Brendan. Coming out of the autonomous period, Brendan pulling away a little bit more. It's pretty even here. We'll see if they can get anything off at their last cycle. Five-point lead after the first autonomous cycle. We'll see what they can do. Pretty similar passing strategies at this time. It doesn't look like Ben, once again, he prefers to push the fuel instead of actually shooting to the other side of the field. Brendan appears to be doing some form of a strategy where he's stacking his hopper with as many fuel as possible. Both are about to start shooting slightly before the period and score all of those fuel. But a 20-point lead for Brendan here coming out of that first pass. Ben catching up slightly with his second cycle there. We'll see if the timing works out on this last cycle here. A slight lead for Brendan as the active cycle ends. And he actually pulled away with his last couple shots. We're in the inactive period. Both robots once again cycling as many fuel to their side of the field as possible. As the active period begins, both robots firing away with that huge hopper that Gojira has. Still a slight lead here, about 20 points. We'll see if they can do anything as we start to approach the endgame period. It appears the fuel organization is pretty similar. But a 20-point lead as we enter endgame. And Brendan, bring it back here. "20 seconds left. Still a slight lead here as both robots are cycling in. About a 30-point lead with 10 seconds left. The robots are preparing to climb on the tower as they're shooting their last cycles. 3, 2, 1. A final of 705 to 670 points. And they got real close at the end, but Ben will be moving on, it appears. A final score of 1481 to 1450.
Brendan 7 is our second to fall, despite a heroic attempt at a comeback in the last 2 matches. This does mean that Ben will now be moving on to face the Gatekeepers. Eton 1577, the finalist of XTOF 2024, placed 11th out of qualifications and is now hunting for his first SRC tournament win. Hailing all the way from Israel, he's looking to show this arena how his high scores and consistency can beat any player in his way. Noah PLWG1, the winner of 2025 TLS with PL Unk, is no stranger to high levels of play. Placing 5th after qualifications, he is a player focused on consistency through all robots instead of just one. Who will come out on top? There's only one way to find it.
We have Eton 1577 and Noah PLWG1. We're going to go ahead and get started on Gojira. Eton shooting his preloads and missing them all, with Noah making all 8 of them up and in. Both getting back at about the same time with a full hopper of fuel to shoot back up into that hub. Noah somehow getting 10 points more, mostly because of those preloads. Surfing over the bump, Eton doing the same thing, doesn't get beached on the fuel that Noah does. Both going back with 6 seconds left in auto. Eton only down the 8 points from the preloads. Noah looks like he's going to shoot before Eton, which could be the gap. Eton shooting well after his his hub is no longer active. 140 to 180, Noah with the lead. Looking like he's going to try and shove some extra balls in his shooter by shooting them up against the ladder, or the tower. Noah trying to collect all the balls around the ones in the middle so he can have a good cycle. Start shooting a second early, Eton 2 seconds late, but here they both go. Noah with 246 and Eton with 194. 50-point gap separates these alliances. Noah up and in again, Eton up and in again. Noah sweeping the middle, seeing if he can get all the fuel back to his hub in time. 5 seconds left. He's going to try and go for another one. Will he get it? Let's see. He will. They are both shooting well into the ending of their active shift. 299 to 381. Noah has kept his lead, and it is up to 82 points now. Eton 1577 trying to make a difference and score more fuel than Noah coming into this endgame period in this last shift. He is going to get back a second later than Noah. Eton shooting. He's pushed all the fuel to his side, a strategy we don't normally see on the Gojira robot. You usually leave it in the middle and swipe back. So we'll see if he's able to score faster than Noah on this. Looks like he's closed the gap by about 10 points, but Noah is just ready to shoot again and keep extending his lead. The gap is back up to about 90 points. Eton shooting before Noah, but Noah is right there with another full hopper. Eton filling his hopper, going back. Noah getting there first and shooting first. 15 seconds left in the match, and it is over a 100-point gap. Eton closing the gap a little bit, and Noah just has something to say about it and changes it right back. Eton looks like he's going to get ready to climb. Noah as well. Eton gets the climb. Noah, I believe, got the climb. All right, and your final score is Aton 603 and Noah 692, which means so far Aton is 89 points behind Noah. Moving on to our next robot, it is Rapidus. Noah looks like Aton looks like he's gonna aim his turret and shoot his preloads. Noah has got that quick turret set up. He is ready to go back and forth from the midline, go back to the same spot over and over again. Looks like Aton doing the same thing. He might have gotten a little close to the hub. He started missing a couple of those shots. They went over. Right after auto, it's like 15-point gap. So Aton seeing if he could get one more. Noah also getting one more. And it is a 13-point gap after transition. And Noah gets some more well after his shift is over. Noah passing to that corner so he can set up his active shift. It is 91 to 67. We have almost a 30-point gap. But Noah is just shooting all into his corner. Aton shooting some out of the field, but he looks like he might be trying to fill both corners a little bit. All right, here comes that shift. Aton might be shooting from the same spot. No, he's not. They're both shooting from that corner and aligning their turret to the hub when they need to. Noah shooting some, just sitting in the corner and emptying all of the balls in that corner. He's just going to sit there and spray the balls into the hub. 192 to 142, 50 points. And now both their shifts are over. Noah has 215 and Aton has 157. Big gap here. Let's see if Aton can make it up going into the second active shift and endgame. Looks like he's still passing some balls out of the field, which is unfortunate. They will luckily fall down into where he needs them. But 55 seconds left. He starts shooting a little earlier than Noah. That's good for him. Noah, though, he's getting there and he's in the corner again with all of those balls. Aton trying to do the same thing. Looks like they're all going in for him. Noah as well, unfortunately, for Aton. This is a 70-point match again, just like the last one. Aton trying to clear that depot. Noah just doing the auto cycles that he was doing, where he sits and just cycles from the middle. We have 23 seconds left. Almost a 100-point gap between these two players. These are two very strong players. Noah is good at, I think, all three robots. And Aton, we don't see too much of him, but obviously he qualified to be in the 12. And he had a good rapid score, I believe. So 2 seconds left. We have 304 to 381 is your final score, which means that will bring the gap to 907 to 1073, which is a 166-point gap. Moving on to the next robot. The last robot is Link, 9496. Aton gonna move to the middle and sweep the backside. Noah sweeping the front side of the balls. A little bit of a different strategy. Now Noah goes to the back. Aton stays on the back and pushes the front fuel back, but unfortunately it kind of gets him back as it throws him into the trench. Noah getting back before auto ends, but not getting to shoot all those balls. Decently close match. Aton's gonna have to go for a quick cycle here because he shot a little late. Transition's over, and then he starts shooting. These are not going to count very much. Yeah, he got about 4 more points. The gap is 34 points after transition. Looks like Aton passing. Noah doing the same to the corner. They are both trying to get them all in the corner for their active shift. A little bit of a different strategy than what we usually see. I haven't seen the rest of the 12, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a different strategy. Noah looks like he's starting to shoot early. Aton as well. Aton got a small hopper off to begin with, and now he's going to see if he can just keep extending or keep closing the gap. Noah going to try and keep extending his gap. Looks like Noah going to go up and in. 5 seconds left on their active shift. Here they go. And looks like we're going to have a 70-point gap. Oh, Aton getting some last-minute scoring done. Closes it to a 62-point gap. So we'll see if that could be the difference, if Noah might mess up an endgame. So Noah and Aton both passing back to their zone, it looks like. The same way they were. Noah's back in time. He starts shooting a second early. Perfect timing so that they start counting right when the shift starts. Noah just shooting a bunch. Aton's balls are kind of spread out, so it's a little harder for him. But Noah's are right in a pile. There we go. Aton's got his in a pile under the tower. See if he can sweep them all. He opts not to go through the tower to get the extra fuel. Maybe he's leaving them for later. Or when he gets this depot. There we go. A bunch up against Aton's hub. Noah, I didn't see what happened, but his shooter was really full. I don't know if he went to the outpost or what. But his shooter had a bunch of extra fuel in it. 20 seconds left. The gap is almost 150 points. Noah almost gets beached on a fuel. That would have been bad for him. Aton just trying to make up the points. Noah just sitting in the trench and spraying all the balls in. 3 seconds left. Looks like Noah might try to climb. Aton is beached on the trench. And 526 to 346 for the Link robot. Which means at the end of the Aton and Noah matchup, we have a final score of 1599 to 1253. Noah won by 346 points.
Both players fought valiantly for the victory, but Noah's high level of playing consistency was able to win him this matchup. We do have to say a goodbye to Aton here, but a heroic effort was put in nonetheless. E-Man7199 enters the 12 as the reigning Sim champion after winning the Reefscape Ladder tournament. Still holding this title, he looks to extend his winning streak and prove he belongs at the top. Qualifying in 6th place, he stands as the balance of the 12 and is ready to tip the scales in his favor. Dar7890, the former Sim champion, earned the title by winning the Reefscape Season Championship. But that victory is only one chapter in his impressive history. Season after season, he has proved himself as one of the most skilled competitors in the sim. With that being said, let's see how our 12th seed will do in our final match of the pit.
Ready for matchup number 4, we have Eamon on the left, Dora on the right. Starting off with Rapid, we have everyone moving out of auto. Eamon rushing the neutral zone, Dar scoring his preload before he runs the neutral zone. Both running similar autos, scoring through in the trench. Eamon, they're missing some of that fuel while Dar is able to successfully score all his fuel in that hub. Leaving out of auto with 41 at 23, Dark with the auto lead. With the first transition period ending, we have Dar with the 67 point to Eman's 31 points. It's a very large gap here. Not something Eman cannot surpass though. Dar running some interesting strategies here, using the walls to be able to lead way for some fuel that he can score through the trench, while Eman has been hoarding some fuel near the trench to get some of those quick cycles in the hub. Both running good strategies here though, scoring as much fuel as they can, but Dar continues to stretch that lead. Eman getting a G407 there. You do not want to be scoring outside of your zone, but after the first shift here, Dar continues to have that large lead, almost 100-point gap here. We'll see what Eman does to be able to catch up or even surpass Dar's scoring. Dar continues to use that interesting strategy, using the wall of the field to be able to collect some of that fuel for his shift, while Eman looks to be using the corner strategy to see if he can score as much fuel to be able to catch up to what Dar has right now. But Dar is not letting this go. He continues to also get some fast cycles in, scoring in that hub, surpassing that 200-point mark, while Eman is still under that 200 mark, trying to hopefully get there with no fuel. He is hoping to see if he can collect some from the neutral zone. Looks like he's just running full fuel cycles there, trying to get some fuel and score that from the neutral zone. But Dar continues to score with 20 seconds left in the match. He's close to being at 300 points, while Eman barely touched 200. This looks to be a match for Dar, but we'll see what the final scores go as 7 seconds left in this match. Everyone's looking to climb. Do they get their climb? Dar looks like he will get his climb. Eman failed his climb with the final scores of 339 to 200 20. Let's get this next matchup on the way here, both on Gojiras. As Auto starts both scoring their preload, rushing that mid line. Both running similar autos here. It's going to be up to who can cycle the fastest here. They both look to be running a circle auto on the field, hoping to be able to collect as much fuel as they can near the hub for their shift so that they can score faster. Coming out of the transition period, Dar leads with a point of 174 to Eman's 142. Dar looks to have a more organized bunch of fuel here near the hub, while Eman is looking to collect as much as he can, it being a little bit, but the first shift will be starting in 5 seconds, so both are looking to collect as much fuel as they can to prepare for that shift. Eman already scoring as Dark also comes back to score. Both surpassing that 200 mark. Dar still with that lead though, but we'll see what Eman does to be able to surpass him. Eman's and Dar cycling exactly the same, but Dar is able to get to his zone quicker to score, with the first shift ending in 1 second now. Getting the last volley in, Dar continues to have that lead of 336 to Eman's 316. Dar continues to have more fuel collected near the hub, meaning he can get more quicker cycles when the shift starts, which is about to start in 2 seconds. Both scoring exactly the same time. Dar getting his volley in faster, if not almost the same time as E-Man. But with 40 seconds left in this match, Dar continues to have that lead against E-Man. E-Man trying to see if he can fight back, but we'll see if it is enough at the end. Dar with only 2 points behind that 500 point mark, and he will pass it right now with almost 20 seconds left in the match. It looks to be a Dar game, but points are very close. Eman could surpass it. Eman running some full field cycles, trying to collect as much fuel as he can to see if he can pass Dar with 10 seconds left in this match. Dar scoring the final volley, looks to go for the climb. Eman seeing if he can catch up by scoring a full volley, and both trying to climb, and no one gets to climb. With the final scores in, Dar continues to have the lead against E-Man with the last 2 robots. Let's get this third match in the way. Both players on Link here, both running very different auto strategies. E-Man cycling through the trench while Dar is cycling through the bump. 4 seconds left in his auto period. It looks like E-Man will take the lead in auto, but we'll see who can score the most during that transition period. With 3 seconds left in this transition period, it looks to be a E-Man lead. This is E-Man's first time that he takes a lead in this series. We'll see if he can also take this win. Both running different strategies during the inactive period. Dar looks to be shooting most of the fuel in one corner, while E-Man looks to be guarding most of the fuel next to the hub to see if he can get some of those quick cycles under that trench. While Dar is cycling his first fuel hoppers through the bump, E-Man continues to run his quick cycles through the trench. Dar now grabs fuel from that corner that he was shooting most of the fuel from, while E-Man is continuing to score as much as he can from that fuel that he had saved near the hub. With the first shift being over, Dar does have the current lead with 265 to E-Man's 249. We'll see if E-Man is able to recover from that and surpass him, or if Dar is able to continue this lead and win this match and the series. Second transition shift happening now. Dar seeming to score away from the hub nearly the trench, while E-Man is continuing to cycle the same way as he has been doing the whole match, going over through one bump to another, but Dar cycling wherever he can with this continued lead of 390, actually surpassing 400 already, while E-Man is on his way there. With 20 seconds left in the match, this looks to be a Dar win, meaning he might win this series. But we'll see what they have to say about that. With 10 seconds left in the match, Dar continues with that lead, even trying to get the last volley in. Dar putting his climber up, looking to get this climb in. E-Man also putting his climber up, seeing if he can get that climb in. And E-Man misses that climb while Dar did not. This does mean Dar finishes off with an overall score of 1,520 to E-Man's 1,299.
E-Man falls after a battle with the veteran player of Dar. This does mean that Dar will move on to the playoff bracket against the Gatekeepers, which is a feat he has not been able to pull off in other 12 events. Evan 10690, hot off a victory against Gavin, is ready to prove that the 8th seed should not be underestimated. Looking for the biggest upset of his career, he knows that increasing his Rapidus score is the best chance of victory. Kaiju Jones, the former holder of 3 of the 4 rebuilt world records, is our #1 ranked player of the event. As a very seasoned player, his most recent event win was the Reefscape TLS with his team PL Unk.
Starting off in round 2 here, Kaiju versus Evan. This is a Gojira matchup to start off. Both are about to go and pick up their first cycles. And they're firing away. A slight lead for Evan after that first autonomous cycle. As we're approaching the end of the autonomous period, Evan is still holding a slight lead. There's time for one more cycle before the active period with the towers turns off. Evan continues to hold his lead as the active periods end. Both robots starting to go to feed to the other side of the field here. Looks like Evan using a strategy to fill his hopper slightly more underneath the climbing tower there. As the hubs activate, both robots firing away. Evan extending his lead slightly. And a slightly faster get off on that cycle as well. Evan continues to extend his lead, over 20 points now. He's been slightly faster at getting back over to the other side of the field to shoot during these active periods. An almost 30-point lead here as the hubs deactivate. 40-point lead after that cycle ends. Once again, going back to his strategy to try to fill up his hopper more, I believe. Allows him to hold slightly more balls for that first active cycle here. As the period begins, both robots firing away. Evan holding about a 30-point lead with 45 seconds left. We are approaching the endgame period, and still about a 35-point lead here for Evan. Kaiju will need to make something happen if he wants to even up this matchup. Endgame begins, both robots still firing away. 20 seconds left. Evan still holding about a 30-point lead, extended it slightly during that last cycle. Ten seconds to go. Kaiju will need to find a way to maybe double up here in the last 10 seconds. The lead extends for Evan as we approach endgame. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The score in that first match being 681 to 631, a 50-point lead for Evan as we go into the second robot matchup here. Alright, on to the Link matchup. Both robots shooting from underneath the trench during their autonomous period here. Pretty similar strategies. Pretty even as we approach the last cycle here in autonomous. Some misses there from Evan as he was trying to line up. Will allow Kaiju to take a slight lead out of Auto. And about a 15-ish point lead here. Both robots starting to pass to the other side of the field. Slightly different strategies here as Evan went to the blue side of the field to remove all the balls from over there. Ooh, and a slight beach here as he's working on pushing the balls under the trench. Kaiju seemingly preferring to put all the balls towards the middle of the field. As the hub activates, both robots starting to shoot. Very similar strategy, shooting from directly under the trench there. Still a slight lead for Kaiju. Barely. 3-point lead after that last cycle. Evan getting his shots off slightly faster there. Still a lead for Kaiju. Last shot getting fired off in that cycle. And Evan actually takes the lead, about an 11-point lead there. Both robots going back to feeding and cleaning all the balls up towards their side of the field as they prepare for the last active cycle here. Evan seemingly prepared, just waiting for it to start, and we're off with the last active cycle for the hub. Slight lead for Evan, but it's very close. 45 seconds left. Still anybody's matchup here to even this out. But a 10-point lead as they're shooting off as we approach endgame here. As endgame begins, Evan has about a 15, but almost 20-point lead here. Kaiju will need to speed up his last couple of cycles. A little bit of trouble going under the trench there is not going to help. Evan just slightly cleaner with his shots. The cycles are a little bit off here, about a 20-30-point lead for Evan at least right now. 7 seconds to go. Both the robots seemingly abandoning the climb. Oh, Evan will be going last second. And a final score in that match brings it to 1,184 to 1,093 for Kaiju. Evan extending his lead to 91. And we're on to the final matchup, Rapid US. Both the robots once again shooting from underneath the trench. We'll see a much smaller hopper here compared to our Gojira and Link matchups. A lot more cycles need to be taken. As autonomous ends, it's a slight lead for Evan. Evan actually pulls away. Nope. Kaiju got a couple off at the very end there. And Evan's stuck in one last cycle, a final score of 77 to 65 in that autonomous period. Both robots starting to cycle the balls back towards their side of the field now. Evan going with a bit of a big pushing strategy there. Kaiju going to just pass the balls to his side of the field. As the hubs activate, both robots shooting away. Evan extending his lead slightly here. Kaiju having a much different strategy, having quite a few balls in that corner. Can he catch up with that strategy? He is pretty much neck and neck. As that active hub period ends, Kaiju did catch up. He passed and now has a 10-point lead, 189 to 179. If you remember, he was down by about 90. He will have to win this matchup by 90 to move on. A minute left. Both robots getting ready for this next active period. As the hub activates, they are off. Kaiju once again going with the strategy with having all of those balls in the corner. Evan with a slight lead into this active hub period. But it did seem like last period that Kaiju just had more balls and was able to score several more at the end of that period. pretty even as we're approaching endgame. A slight lead for Evan. Nope, there we go. Kaiju catching up and actually taking the lead there. 30 seconds. They are neck and neck, moving back and forth to taking that lead. It'll come down to this last cycle here, but Kaiju needs quite a few points to catch up in the overall matchup. 15 seconds to go. A slight lead for Kaiju. 10 seconds left. Evan has almost tied it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I believe the final score of 345 to 342 in that Rapid US matchup will mean that Evan has taken this matchup 1,529 to 1,435, a 94-point lead.
In a surprising turn of events, our first-ranked seed is knocked out of the tournament by our 8th seed contestant. Evan 10690 will be moving on in the tournament, and we have to say goodbye to Kaiju here. Let's welcome back to the arena Dar 7890. While he may be the underdog in this match, his years of experience should not be overlooked when considering the potential outcome. Fire is a gatekeeper that should not be underestimated. Our second place seed, as well as the Link world record holder, he's here to prove that he can play at the highest level consistently.
All right, in round 2 of the pit, we have another matchup. It is Fire and Dar 7890. Fire starting out on Link, getting beached on a little bit of fuel. Dar beating Fire back because he goes over the bump. We'll see if that helps him out with the time. 35 to 34 after the first cycle, but Dar is already back, ready to shoot. Fire not too far behind him, but Dar is already intaking another hopper, and he is back and ready to shoot when auto ended. 73 to 88, Fire making some quick work of the trench cycles. Dar making quick work of the bump cycles. Fire shooting quite late. We'll see if they get to count. And yes, they do. 120 to 114. Fire takes the lead. Looks like we have an out-taking strategy from Fire. Dar doing the normal passing strategy. We'll see what Fire has to cook up with this out-taking strategy. Looks like he's lining them up in front of the hub. We'll see if maybe he's going to shoot them at the same time as a full hopper. And he's back. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Dar is going to sweep from the middle, get the rest of the balls, and then maybe he'll try and empty that corner where he has a lot of fuel. And yes, he will. He has turned and opted to go for that corner. Fire 449 looks like he is going to shoot up and in from the trench again. See if he can get one more cycle off before the shift ends. And it looks like he might. He's kind of a little close. Fire takes the lead back in that last cycle, 244 to 258. Dar just shooting up and over into that corner again. Fire, I believe he was doing out-taking again because there's a bunch of fuel on the hub. He's sweeping all around the field. Looks like he's gonna put a bunch of fuel in his shooter and get ready. They all go up and in from the output or from up against the hub. All the fuel that he got from the outpost. That's gonna give him a 40-point gap over Dar if he can just hold this pace. There he goes. He goes up onto a ball and gets stuck under the trench for a second, but he makes quick work of the recovery. 330 to 355. Fire is up 25 points. Dar making it back, just trying to keep it nice and close. It is very close. Any mess up from either one of them could be the deciding factor. Dar is down almost 30 points, but he is making quick work of these bump cycles. See if he can beat Fire in the cycle times. Looks like they're about the same cycle time. Dar has closed the gap to only like 20 points instead. Almost 30, 25 points. 3 seconds left. Looks like Dar is going to opt for a climb, and Fire is also going to opt for a climb. Final score of Link is 528 to 491, with Fire as your winner. Fire is up 37 points compared to Dar. This is a pretty small margin considering we have Gojira and Rapid coming up. The next robot is Gojira. Perfect. Fire scoring all 8 of his preloads. Dar also scoring all 8. One was delayed on counting. I almost said he scored 7. Dar and Fire just shooting from up against the hub. Looks like Dar has 69 to 64. Fire up a little bit. Fire's moving a little bit while he's shooting, causing him to miss a lot of the fuel. 122 to 115, even though he missed those, he still has the lead, just barely over Dar. Transition ends, and it's going to be 172 to 178, only a 6-point gap. Dar looks like he's going to sweep the outer edge of the field and shoot them back into the middle so he can do his quick bump strategy that most people do. Dar going to take from the opponent's depot, Fire taking from his depot, and going back out to the middle. I haven't really seen this strategy before, but we will see where it goes. Dar is already going to almost have his hopper empty, and Fire is just now starting to shoot. But looks like the score might be bugged a little bit. There we go, it's fixed. Maybe I'm just blind. Oh, there we go. 313 to 278. Here we go on this score. 121 or 120, I mean, my bad. 370 to 336 after the first shift. Still decently close. 34 points separate these alliances. Fire versus Dar is a big rivalry. They play a lot of ranked against each other. Dar, 5 seconds left. He's going to opt to get back early, so he is ready to shoot. He shoots with about a second early. Fire shoots about a 1/10 of a second early. Not very much, or not very early. Fire going to sweep the middle. Dar doing the same. Dar has a couple extra balls to intake while he's shooting, kind of like Fire does, but looks like Dar might have pushed them over on his way. Fire going up and into the hub. Looks like this match is a lot closer than it was. Dar trying to make those quick cycles to get the points back. The score might have been a little bugged, but 540 to 546. But Fire has a hopper to dump. This is all going to come down to endgame. It looks like Fire has a lot more fuel ready to go than Dar, unfortunately, for Dar. Dar takes the lead back, but Fire is just there with another hopper ready to go. So we will see where this goes. Fire and Dar shooting one last hopper. Looks like they're going to opt to climb after that hopper. Or Fire shoots the one more ball instead of climbing. And I believe he got the climb. Now the final scores are, or not final, the total scores are 1225 to 1147. Dar is down 78 points. Fire just needs to win, or Fire needs to keep it within 78 points if he wants to win and move on. Fire and Dar both going for the trench shooting strategy where you rush the middle and then shoot from the trench. Here they go, up and into the hub. Looks like they're keeping the points really neck and neck, 34 to 34. Both shooting at about the same time. Fire might be a little later, but yeah, he is. But that's no big deal as long as he's scoring the same amount. Fire's going to try and get back for one more. It's going to be kind of late, but I think he will. And yes, he takes the lead from Dar at the last second, 79 to 82. Fire looks like he might be having some turret issues trying to shoot back to his corner, and there he goes. Dar, on the other hand, doing a little bit of a different strategy. He's getting all the ones out of the outpost first and pushing them all to the middle. Looks like he's going to shoot from the trench, and he starts shooting early, goes up and in. Fire as well, but he is shooting from the corner. The corner is a good strategy we've seen multiple people use. Fire might have a ball stuck. There we go. He got it out or something. Stop moving around. 135 to 130, 7 seconds left. Fire's going to try and get one more. Dar is also going to try and get one more cycle. 151. Oh, looks like it's going to be very close after this shift. Dar shooting late, but none of those are going to count, unfortunately. Dar passing the wrong way, maybe? Oh, he's passing to the side. My bad. 170 to 152 after this first shift. He's passing to the side of the field so he can sweep them towards his trench after that. And now he's just going to pass some. Around 56 seconds left. He's beached on a fuel. Got to get that turret aligned to the hub. Fire already has his turret aligned to the hub, and he is just shooting from the corner. This is the last robot, so Dar is going to have to win by over 78 points if he wants to come out on top of this matchup. 191 to 225. Now it's only a 24-point gap separate these alliances. Dar has quick work of the fuel. He's making... Oh, Dar almost tipping up. That would have been really bad. Fire just shooting from the trench again, just keeping it nice and steady, just to keep the lead. 241 to 274, sorry. 10 seconds left. It's about a 40-point gap. Dar just shooting from that trench again. Fire trying to shoot from the trench. Looks like he had a little bit of bouncing going on. Looks like they're both going to go for a climb. Dar climbs early. He gets it. Fire, unfortunately, does not get the climb. And that is a 28-point gap, I believe. Yes. Which means Fire is going to win with 15-34, and Dar is going to lose, unfortunately, with 14-28.
In the end, our veteran Dar and his experience was not enough to take down this gatekeeper. Fire will be moving on to face Evan in match 9. Sadly, that means Dar will be joining the other knocked out players in the stands. Noah PLWG1 has already shown his single-player prowess, currently holding our event high score for total points. Being the Gojira world record holder, he's hoping his experience can win out against his opponent. The Birch Trees, our third-ranked seed at this event, is not one to back down. Currently without an event win of his own, he's been practicing to make sure that today will be his first one.
Okay, folks, here we go. Birch on the left, Noah on the right. Let's get this started off with the link machine. Noah putting up a cycle a little bit slower than Birch, but he does have the lead coming out of this first cycle here, 35-31. Both getting a second cycle in before the end of the autonomous period. It looks like Noah will have the strong lead here by 8 points coming out of autonomous, but that could change with this transition period. Looks like both players putting in one last small cycle there. Looks like Noah will keep the lead 143-119. Birch pushing over to his half of the field while Noah is taking more of a passing approach. Less than 10 seconds left in this inactive period. Birch lining up with 3 seconds left. Noah might be a little bit late. Birch shooting quite a bit early, most of that not counting. Noah putting a whole hopper up and in, growing his lead even more. Birch cycling from the center of the field. Noah cycling from his alliance zone. 6 seconds left in this amplified cycle here. 257-231. Noah getting in one last cycle, though, meaning his lead will grow to 281-236. Birch getting a little bit stuck up on some fuel there, but he is able to get off of it quite quickly. Is back to pushing over to his side of the field. Noah still passing over, gets a foul from shooting into the hub accidentally there, but that does give Birch a little bit of hope here in this match. 10 seconds left in this amplified cycle. 301-365. Noah still with the about 60-point lead here, taking from the outpost, I believe that is. Endgame is now here with that sound effect. 349-449. Birch trying his best to catch up, getting a little bit stuck up on some fuel, though. Disaster for this Red Alliance. 10 seconds left in this match. 415-503. Noah passing that threshold of 500 points. 2 seconds left in this match, both going for the climb. As time expires, your final match scores will be 459-529 after counting for the fouls. 70-point victory for Noah here. Good momentum for this Blue Alliance starting off. But now we are on the Gojira match. 8-8 after all of the preloads count for both alliances. Now putting up their first cycles here in this autonomous period. Trying to get a second in before auto ends as well. Looks like they do. And coming out of the autonomous period, it looks like Birch is going to have the lead by 5 points. But we'll see if that changes at all with this transition period. Looks like it will actually. 1 point difference. 173-174. Noah doing the Evan 10690 tech. Now going back to the center of the field. Not many were put up into his shooter there, but still a good thing nonetheless. Birch lining up for the shots. Noah lining up as well. Both shooting in. Noah shooting in a bit later because he's closer to the hub. But Noah will have the lead thanks to that tech. It grows a little bit. Noah Birch doing a small little cycle. Noah doing a big one, which will give him about the 40-point lead. But Birch now doing huge cycles, going for a fourth one. Noah doing the same. Birch trying to get in his whole hopper. Noah does the same, and it will leave Noah with the 30-point lead coming out of this first active cycle here. Birch is going to have to do something to take this match in his favor. 8 seconds left in this unactive period. No, Birch going back and Noah doing the same to get these fuel up and in. 15 seconds left in this cycle. Both players are shooting up and in before endgame, which will join us in just a moment. Noah still with the lead. Looks like 527 to 505. Only a 22-point lead now. Birch Tree's making it back up a little bit, but looks like he's a little bit slower than Noah is, a little bit less trained with this Gojira robot, meaning Noah might take this match. 12 seconds left. Noah with another full cycle up and in. Birch Tree's a little bit far behind. 5 seconds left in this match. Birch going up for a climb. Noah doing the same. Birch up. Noah now up as well. Final score 694 to 643, with your standings being 1,102 for Birch, 1,223 for Noah. 121-point difference overall. Now we go to the Rapid US robot, the feared among all players. This will decide the matchup winner here. Noah creating the upset, or will it be Birch Trees keeping his spot in this single elimination bracket? Looks like Birch currently with the lead coming out of the autonomous period, but Noah looking to change that, although gets a little bit stuck on some fuel there. And Birch is going to have the lead coming out of this transition period. Noah trying to get a last little bit in. Some of those count, but not most of them. 45 to 63. Birch still pushing like he's done on every other robot. Noah doing a lot of passing like we saw on Link. Let's see who will come out on top here from this first cycle that is starting in 2 seconds. And now it is going. Birch a little bit stuck up on the bump there. Maybe he'll have to reset. Looks like he doesn't, though. Gets freed, although he will be back a lot later. And Noah will have the lead, doing the world record strategy there, shooting just from the corner. 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the clock. 3 seconds now left in this cycle. Birch putting up one last little bit. Noah doing the same as time expires here on this active shift. 172 to 97. 200 points here is very good to see on the Rapid US robot. 172, not too far behind on these servers. So very good showing by Noah. Birch trying to make it back on this robot to keep his dreams of winning the 12-4 alive. As we start the second active shift, Birch is slow to it again, but Noah already there shooting in from the corner. All of those fuel going up and in for this Blue Alliance on the right side of the field. 111 to 220 plus. Looks like Noah is going to make sure to make this match in his favor. And we are now hitting endgame, 260 to 143. Both alliances shooting up and into their respective hubs. Both alliances missing some fuel, though. 157 to 278. Birch trying to bring this match back into his favor, but with 10 seconds left, that might be impossible. Noah putting one last cycle up. Birch putting one last cycle up, too. Both going for Birch going for the climb. Noah a little bit too late to the party. 190 to 313, meaning your final scores will be 1292 to 1536. 244 point difference. Noah will be moving on.
Noah takes another victory and knocks out the birch trees from our tournament. As another gatekeeper falls, Noah moves on to match 10 in the tournament. After a close victory in the pit, we say hello again to Ben 2783. He's looking to increase his Gojira score in an attempt to upset and knock out a gatekeeper. But in order to do that, he has to defeat a very well-rounded player. Meet RJ494, our 4th place seed at the event. Despite having no prior event wins or finalists, he is not a player to underestimate. Once having the world record on Link and having solid scores on both Gojira and Rapidus means that RJ is a force to be reckoned with.
The first matchup will be Gojira as they start off, both shooting their preloads, both rushing to the neutral zone, running similar autos here. First hopper in, Ben with the 2-point lead. We'll see who leads out of auto. Can't really say who won auto now that both are unloading that hopper, but Ben does look to have that lead, seeing if he's going to take that transition lead, which he might actually take it with a point difference of 8 points. This is not over yet for RJ, though. With only 8 points, he can definitely make this up and take the lead. Both running some similar strategies here during this inactive period, guarding some fuel near that hub. RJ already prepared for that first shift while Ben came just in time to start shooting. As both unload that hopper, RJ unloads that hopper first before Ben, but Ben is not so behind. He comes back and is able to score before RJ. With only 10 seconds left in this first shift, Ben still currently has the lead. RJ needs to do and score enough to be able to take this lead. 2 seconds left. We'll see if RJ is able to take this lead, and he is not able to take this lead. Ben scoring a final small hopper there, allowing him to take that lead of 352 to 345. Ben trying to clean up as much as he can in the neutral zone and guard it near the hub for his second shift. Well, RJ's already prepared for that shift, and Ben comes back on time to also shoot, both scoring, unloading the hopper, both finishing unloading that hopper first. Ben kind of beached there, but is able to get unbeached and get back to grabbing. That could give RJ an opportunity to score, but regardless, Ben was able to start unloading his hopper there before RJ. But RJ does currently have the lead of 461 to 453, but Ben says, no, I will take that back, and unloads a full hopper. But RJ was able to respond back to that and score a full hopper of his own. With 20 seconds left in this match, both look to be scoring as much as they can, seeing who is going to take this match. It is a very close match, though. Anyone could win this. RJ coming back to score a final hopper. That's if it's a final hopper, but he looks like it will be because he's lifting his climber. Ben trying to score the last hopper, trying to get that climb. Both get the climb, but RJ takes this win by 2 points, meaning that RJ will be taking this first win in this matchup. And moving on into the next matchup, we will have both RJ and Ben on Link, both leaving auto, running some similar strats here, scoring through the trench. Both seem to be rushing same time. Similar hopper capacity shooting, as you can see. Only a 1 point difference out of auto. We'll see who can take this lead out of transition. It looks to be a RJ win, maybe. We'll see what the full hopper fuel count says. It looks like it would be a Ben win here by 3 points. Both looking to run some similar strategies here during their inactive shift, collecting as much fuel as they can through the hub there. RJ collecting some of that outpost fuel to be able to score during that first shift. That will help him a lot, though, because that's like 10 points extra for fuel. But Ben responding back, scoring some quick cycles there, going back and forth. RJ getting a little tipped there, but is able to get off the fuel and get back to scoring. Currently tied now, but Ben is able to score some fuel there, but RJ is also able to score some final fuel there, but I don't know if all that's going to count. And after that first shift, Ben does currently still have a lead of 6 points. And Ben rushing to the other aligned zone, trying to get some of that fuel that's left on the depot with 5 seconds left till the second shift, both looking to be prepared to start shooting, and they both start shooting. RJ missing some of that fuel that bumps out of the hub. You really don't want to be seeing that, especially with this close matchup here. With 40 seconds left in this matchup, Ben currently still has a lead. We'll see what RJ can do to respond back and see if he can take this lead. But Ben is not letting that happen with his quick cycling back and forth. 8-point difference right now, but with 20 seconds left in this match, we need to see how much fuel they can score and who will take this win. Ben is able to, getting a little tipsy there, but gets back on his wheels to score, both lifting up their climbers, seeing if they can get some last full hopper and get that last second climb. And Ben climbs and RJ climbs, but Ben takes this win of 500 of 14 and RJ's 506. We will be moving on to the third match. Both players on that rapid robot, both running similar auto strats, scoring under the trench. None of the players have so far missed any of their fuel, but Ben currently does lead that auto period by 4 points. We'll see who takes this lead after the transition period. Looks to be Ben. He continues that lead. Ben looks to be scoring a little bit more there compared to RJ, but Ben running some passing strategy here, while RJ looks to be pushing the field instead, trying to get it into one side to see if he can get some quick cycles. While Ben looks to be collecting it in one corner, he looks to be doing some shoot on the move there, trying to score all the fuel on the corner. Seems to be helping him able to score quicker than RJ here, while RJ is looking to be cycling back and forth through the trench. He does miss a whole hopper there, though. That's not really going to be very helpful, while Ben is almost crossing that 200-point mark. RJ is barely there, but is not too far behind. With first shift ending, Ben does finish off with the 200 point. This is not a very close match, but that does not mean RJ can't do as much as he can to be able to find a way to win this, though. Ben continuing to shoot as much and push as much fuel into the corner as he can. He starts the same strategy he's been running in his active time. Well, RJ struggling a little bit there, being a little tipsy on that fuel, but is able to score some fuel under that trench. Might have missed some one or two there, but he is scoring while Ben is continuously non-stopping scoring there, because as long as you have fuel, you have score. So RJ seeing if he can score some fuel there with almost 20 seconds left in this match. Ben has a huge gap of above 100 points here. He might take this win and even win this matchup, but we'll see what the final scores are. 10 seconds left in the match. Ben running some bump cycles while RJ seeing how much he can elect from his zone. Climbers are up, seeing if anyone can climb. RJ is up, Ben is up, and the final scores are in. Ben does take this matchup by 1,558 to RJ's 1,440.
As the match comes to an end, we do have to say goodbye to RJ494. It was a valiant effort. It was not quite enough to take the victory. Ben will advance in our bracket, having taken an early lead and was able to hold on to it during the second and third match. Welcome to the semifinals. Our first matchup will consist of two very determined players, where the victor of this match earns a first-class one-way ticket to the finals. Let's meet the players. Evan 10690 has the advantage of momentum in this match, having just beat the first seed in the event, and he's now ready to take down the second seed as well. Having a disadvantage on Link, Evan is looking to use his Gojira tech to take the upper hand in this matchup. Speaking of our second seed, welcome Fire back to the arena. He's our highest ranked player left in the bracket, and he is not wanting to lose his spot in the finals. Being a highly experienced player, having played since 2023, he hopes his experience will win him a spot in the finals. Without further ado, let's determine our first finalist.
Here we go, a semifinal matchup, Evan versus Fire. Starting off with Rapid US here. Both robots starting to shoot during their autonomous period. Ooh, a bit of an issue for Fire. He's going under the trench there, gets stuck slightly. That's going to have him fall behind here. Evan actually a massive lead after that autonomous period, about 30 points. Still one more cycle to go. 30-point lead, still shooting away. Ends the autonomous period with a 34-point lead. Both robots will start to pass back towards their respective sides of the field as they wait for that hub to activate once again. Evan going for a pushing strategy. Fire mostly passing back into the one corner. As the hubs activate, both robots shooting away. We'll see which of these strategies is better here. Fire will need to do something to make up for the almost significant lead here for Evan now. About a 40-point lead as we are approaching the end of this active hub cycle. Both of us getting a couple more shots here. Evan extended his lead during that cycle. 50-point lead now. Both robots starting to pass once again. Evan having some difficulties there, it seems, pushing the balls back towards his side of the field. Fire lining up as the hub activates. You need to make some big moves here if he wants to make up this deficit. 45 seconds left, still a pretty significant lead for Evan. His ball management is a little bit worse than Fire, but it hasn't hurt him too much at this point. As we enter endgame, still just slightly less than a 40-point lead for Evan. Both robots having to go back out to the middle of the field. Not a lot of balls left on their side. 15 seconds left. The lead is still holding for Evan. 10 seconds. Still a 40-point lead. What can Fire do to make up this deficit? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both robots climbing. A final score of 296 to 264 in that part of this matchup. 32-point lead for Evan. As we start our Gojira matchup, we'll see which of these robots a little bit more ball management. The cycling is quite a bit different due to the size of the hopper compared to Rapid US. Slight lead for Fire after that first cycle. We'll see if they have time to get off one more cycle before this autonomous period ends. Pretty even so far. As autonomous ends, Fire does hold about a 10-point lead. Evan doing a bit of a strategy to hold some more balls in his hopper, allows him to score just a few more points during that first cycle once the hub activates. As the hub activates, Evan shoots off slightly before Fire here, takes a small lead. We'll see who can get more cycles. Evan's seemingly a little bit ahead during this active period. Fire still shooting away, retakes the lead, but it seems like Evan's going to get a whole other cycle off. Is there time for Fire too as well? As the hub deactivates, Fire actually takes a significant lead, 377 to 337. The time worked out very well for his third cycle there. Evan once again putting those extra balls in the back of his hopper to allow for a few more points during that first cycle. Both robots lining up to shoot. As the hub activates, Evan will need to make up some points here. About a 30-point lead holding for Fire. "40 seconds left. The lead still holding and actually slightly extending. Almost 40 points for Fire now. As we approach the endgame period. The lead still holding for Fire. What can Evan do to make up this 40-point deficit? "20 seconds to go. Fire is still in very good shape here. "10 seconds left. Still a strong lead for Fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both robots attempting to climb. 700 to 659 in that matchup. Brings the total score 964 to 955. Fire actually taking a 9-point lead in the matchup here. As we move to the final robot, Link. Both robots shooting away as the autonomous period starts. Pretty even so far in that first cycle. Both robots shooting from directly under the trench. As the autonomous period comes to an end, who can take a slight lead here? One more cycle to go. And Fire pulls away with a 14-point lead as that autonomous period ends. Both robots starting their passing or filtering all of the balls back towards their side of the field to prepare for the hub period. Interestingly, Fire actually reversing his intake to put the balls directly in front of the hub. The hub activates, both robots firing away. Fire holding and actually extending his lead. Couple misses there, but still holding about a 20-point lead during this active period. Oof, unfortunately a beat there for Fire during the cycle. Will he have time to get off? He does have time to get off a few more of those balls and actually extends his lead just under 30-point lead here for Fire as the hub deactivates. Both the robots continuing to prepare the balls for the next active cycle here. Slight beats there for Fire, but shouldn't affect him too much during this inactive period. As he dumps the human player there to actually have a few more balls in his hopper as the hub activates. Fire extending his lead, almost a 50-point lead during the start of this active cycle. What can Evan do to even the score? 35 seconds left as we approach the endgame period. Fire's lead is holding. Almost a 50-point lead now. As endgame begins, who can close out this matchup? Only a 9-point difference, a 9-point lead for Fire in the overall matchup. It's still anyone's game here. Fire holding about a 40-point lead as we approach the 10-second march. Pretty close so far. 5, 4, 3, both robots going to climb. 2, 1. And it looks like Fire may have closed it out. A final score of 1,512 to 1,469. A 43-point win for Fire.
Sadly, the early lead from Evan on Rapidus was not enough to take the victory from Fire this time. With only a 43-point difference in this matchup, the number 2 ranked player books his ticket to the finals. Our second semifinals match is here. These two players have fought tooth and nail all the way from the pit, taking down gatekeepers along the way. Both players don't want to be knocked out right before the finals, but one will have to fall here. Noah PLWG1's first matchup today showed his dominance on each robot, and he's ready to prove it once again to make it to the finals. Playing against Ben, he knows that his Rapidus score will need to improve to make sure that he can take the win. Ben 2783 is not ready to back down from his chance at the finals. Armed with momentum, he is ready to take down the 5th seed. Being up against the Gojira world record holder, he needs to lock in to make sure that this matchup comes out with him on top.
This will decide who will be moving on into the finals. Let's start off with the first matchup robots here, starting off with Link. Both rushing into the neutral zone, grabbing a full hoppers here, scoring as much as they can. Currently tied after the first hopper, seeing if they continue this tied after the second hopper. But no, never mind. Ben actually is leading off the hopper with 1 point. But we'll see after this third hopper how it finishes. Looks like Noah had a more full hopper there. Let's see what it finishes after the transition period. Looks like Noah's going to take that by 3 points here. Noah running that passing strategy while Ben looks to be collecting as much fuel as he can and keeping it next to the hub. First shift starting in about 5 seconds. Ben is already prepared while Noah comes back to start shooting there on time. Both scoring as much as they can. Noah collecting the fuel that he already had passed in the zone, while Ben is going out and in to collect the fuel that he had collected near the hub. Both scoring quick cycles though, but it looks like Noah is scoring a little more quicker though as he collects that lead after every hopper that he throws. But ending this first shift, Noah still keeps that lead of 273 to Ben's 259. The point difference is not a lot, so Ben can score more to be able to pass Noah in this match. 3 seconds left in this inactive period. Both prepare to start shooting, and Ben starts shooting, and Noah starts shooting. Everyone starts shooting. Ben goes out and in, collecting that fuel from the neutral zone he had stacked, while Noah continues to collect and score all the fuel that he had collected in his zone. Not a very differential match score here, both scoring very quickly, with both scoring above 400 at this point in time, with 20 seconds left in this match. Both very close in score, trying to see how much they can score. Noah has started to go out and in of the neutral zone under the trench scoring, while Ben has continued the same strategy with 6 seconds left in the match. Both robots looking to score their last hobby and climb. Ben takes this first win of 530 to Noah's 526. Let's move on to the next match up of robots with Gojira. Both moving out, scoring their preload and moving on to the neutral zone. Both scoring at similar times with a 1 point difference after a first full hopper. Looks to be a very close match here. Noah getting back to score first. Looks like he did take that auto win. We'll see who takes the win after the transition period. Noah coming back faster to score though, so he might take this transition win, but Ben said, no, I'm taking that, as he takes it with a 181 to Noah's 175. Both running similar strats here, with 5 seconds left in the match, both coming back and preparing to score as they both start shooting. They look to be in the same pace as it comes to cycling, as they both exit the bump at the same time and come back and start shooting at the same time. So this could be a very close match at the end. With 7 seconds left in this shift, Ben getting stuck there, that might actually affect the outcome of this match, but we'll see. Noah is able to get a full second hopper there, giving him the lead of 385 to Ben's 350. That little hassle that Ben had there with the fuel may have affected the outcome of this match, but we'll see. Knowing Noah having a little bit more fuel collected in that near that hub compared to Ben, so we'll see if that helps Noah take this win, as both are scoring and cycling. Noah coming back to his zone quicker to start getting a second hopper in this shift, while Ben is coming back for his second hopper there. With almost 30 seconds left in this match, Noah keeps on extending that lead, almost crossing that 600 point mark, while Ben just passed the 500. This does seem Noah will win this series, but we'll see what happens in the last 20 seconds. Both running to the neutral zone, collecting as much as they can, scoring at the same time. With less than 10 seconds left in the match, they need to do all they can to get these final hoppers in. Both putting the climber up. Noah climbs. Ben does not get the climb, and that does mean Noah takes this win here, extending his lead in this matchup. And moving on, we'll be moving on to the third matchup of robots with Rapid, both moving out to the neutral zone, collecting fuel, scoring the fuel, both scoring through under the trench. Ben missing some of that fuel, not a lot though, but that could be very match affecting. He is struggling there a little bit by getting stuck on some fuel and bouncing up and down, but that's no trouble to Noah as he continues to shoot and score with the current lead out of the transition period of 82 to Ben's 69. Ben and Noah look to be running some similar strategies, passing to one singular corner. They might be running that strategy that has been going on in these matchups where players are shooting into a corner, and as soon as the shift starts, they score continuously. And that is exactly what they're doing. Ben taking a little time. They're trying to see if he can line up that hood with the turret, but both scoring continuously non-stop. Noah looks to be running out of fuel in that corner with only 1 second left in this first shift. This looks to be a Noah win after this, but we'll see if Ben is able to collect as much fuel to be able to surpass Noah on their second shift. Noah looks to be having a little bit more fuel there in that corner, but Ben is looking to see if he can use some push to be able to get as much fuel as Noah currently has in that corner. Both look to be preparing to start shooting. Noah a little quicker on that start, but Ben is not to be dealt with there as he starts scoring and scoring. With 40 seconds left in the match, Ben looks to take the lead here. This might be a Ben win, but we'll see what Noah has to say about that. With 30 seconds left in the match, this is a 10-point difference. Ben still having more fuel to score, while Ben had to run to the neutral zone and see if he can collect more. Ben running some of that bump cycling, while Noah is running some out to the neutral zone under the trench cycling. With 10 seconds left in the match, not far behind Noah is with a point difference, but Ben does currently have a lead. 3 seconds left in the match. 3, 2, 1, and 0. This was a very close match with a 1-point difference, but this does mean that overall Noah does take the matchup win with the overall point score of 1,588 to Ben's 1,526.
Despite being able to take the win in 2 of the 3 matches, Ben was not able to take it overall. Noah was able to keep up with Ben in the Rapidus match and kept his consistency on Gojira, which won him the matchup and sends him to the finals. Welcome to the finals. We have 2 very experienced players on either side of the field, and neither of them is going to go down without a fight. Let's meet these players in the ultimate single-player matchup. Fire is our last gatekeeper standing and wants to take his first ever XRC win. Currently the world record holder of Link, he hopes to keep up with Noah on the other 2 robots to take the victory. Noah is the more experienced player here when it comes to events. He is no stranger to being in the finals, and having won both times, he has made it to this spot. Not wanting to break his winning streak in the finals, he is looking to use his experience on Gojira to win this match over the second seed of the event. Without further ado, let's determine the victor of the 12-4.
Okay, folks, here we are in the finals. Fire on the left, Noah on your right. Let's determine the victor of the 12-4 right here, right now. Fire a little bit slow to the first cycle here in the autonomous period, 33 to 35. Noah with the slight lead, but Fire coming back a little bit here. Coming out of the autonomous period, Noah with the 3-point lead, but with transition period, they're still both able to score and now are putting up some last cycles in. It looks like it's going to be Noah still with that 3-point lead. Noah putting fuel up and over to his side of the field. Noah, or Fire rather, doing his patented strategy of putting a whole cycle up in front of the hub and near the outpost or depot. I always forget, my bad. 5. And now we are starting in this cycle here. Fire back just in time and takes the lead from Noah by about 30 points, but Noah takes it right back. Fire fighting for the win, the lead here, 206 to 212. 6-point lead for Noah currently, but Fire trying to get one last cycle. Noah doing the same though, and it looks like still Noah with the lead, but 5 points now. It's grown a tiny little bit. Fire trying to do his strategy yet again, putting fuel over by his hub. Now he's going around the outskirts, getting a full cycle. Noah passing over to his side of the field. Fire doing the Gojira tech, but on Link. And now both shooting up and into their activated hubs. Fire putting up a small little second cycle there. Noah just doing his cycling like usual. 40 seconds left on the clock, meaning only 10 seconds until endgame, and it's a tied match here now. Noah going a little bit faster than Fire, though, thanks to the closer cycles. But now with endgame, Fire had the lead there, and coming out of this hopper, Fire is indeed up by 11 points. Let's see if he can keep this lead going into the last 15 seconds of this match. Fire trying his best to keep his cool here, taking the first match of the finals. But let's see if that will become a reality. Fire getting a small little tech of his own up and in. 1 second left in this match. Fire trying to go for the climb, gets it last second for the 20-point advantage there. 558 to 538. Looking good for Fire at the current moment. But let's see if he can hang on to this momentum in this next match on Rapid US. Both of these players are looking to take this match by as many points as possible for this last Gojira match. 33 to 29. Fire with the current lead, but a little bit slow to that third cycle. At the end of the autonomous period, Fire is going to have the 7-point lead, but 3 seconds left. Noah getting one last cycle in. Fire not back in time to get it, which will give Noah the lead here, 75 to 66. Both players are shooting over to their half of the field. Noah, we've seen do the world record strategy. Fire does kind of it, but a little bit different. But it has been working out for both of these teams. 1 second left. Noah and Fire both shooting up and into their hubs. looks like lead for Noah at the current moment by 12 points, but that is not leaving Fire phased, wanting to take this match for himself and keep his lead 125 to 157. 2 seconds left in this cycle. There goes Fire's last cycle up and in. Same with Noah. Looks like Noah will have the lead, 35 points, but Fire will still try and take this in the second cycle and endgame. Noah and Fire now both just passing over to their respective sides of the field. 2 seconds left in this cycle here, and now both players are shooting up and into their hubs yet again. Noah doing his corner shots, Fire doing his corner shots as well. 190 to 230, 40-point gap in favor of Noah Pilwig 1. Now we are in the end game now, folks. We will not see anybody snapping their fingers here, but we will see high fuel scoring up into each of these hubs. Noah with the commanding lead at the moment, and Fire trying to crawl back into the lead here. 10 seconds left in this match. Noah crossing the 320-point threshold. Fire trying to cross the 300-point threshold. 2 seconds left in this match. Both players going for the climb. Noah up. Fire might have gotten it last second, didn't fully see there, but Noah will have the lead, which means he is in the lead in this entire matchup, 855 to 889, 30-point deficit for Fire. Let's see if he can make it up in this last match on Gojira. We know Noah Pilwig had the world record on this robot at one point, so this will be an uphill battle for Fire here, but maybe he can take this match regardless. 66 to 67, 1 point lead for Noah at the current moment. At the end of the autonomous period, though, it looks like it still will be 1 point lead for Noah. And at the end of transition, both players are putting up one last small cycle, 172 to 179. Good scoring from both of these alliances. Noah doing the tech that he does, Fire just trying to do his link strategy that worked so well for him in the first match. In this one, 5 seconds left in this inactive period. Both players going back to get a cycle, and they do. There goes Fire putting up a huge cycle to take almost the lead, actually. Noah still with it due to his tech. 10 seconds left in this cycle. Both players trying to go for at least one more cycle here. Noah gonna go for two more, actually. Fire getting in his last one up and in. Noah doing the same. And it looks like still lead goes to Noah Pilwig. 376 to 349. This win is looking out of reach for Fire, but he is not scared at all, looking to put up as big of a cycle as possible for this Red Alliance on the left side. 3 seconds left in this unamplified period, and now both players are shooting up and in. Fire with the bigger first cycle due to the fuel that he left on the ground, bringing this match much closer, 422 to 434. Now both players on the same time cycle here. Noah a little bit faster, though, with shooting up and into that hub. 481 to 479. That lead has now diminished. Fire is in the lead. Maybe Noah is going to let this slip in these last few seconds of this match in endgame. Fire putting up a cycle. Noah not too far behind. Fire taking a little bit of a scenic route to get his cycle here. 584 to 608. Noah back with the lead, putting up a cycle of his own. 10 seconds left in this match. Noah and Fire both going for one last cycle. 1 point difference here. Fire putting up a cycle. Noah doing the same. 3 seconds left. Both players going for the climb. Noah's up. Fire is up. Last second. 701 to 701. Tying the game here. But sadly, for Fire, that does not mean he has enough to take the lead. 1556 to 1590, Fire is knocked out.
In the end, despite a heroic effort from Fire by forcing a tie on Noah's best performing robot, he falls to the 5th seed. Noah's performance throughout the whole event proves that his consistency reigns supreme in Rebuild single player. Today, we had 12 competitors picked from the top Rebuild players of 2026, and we have ended with just one left standing. Our victor, Noah PLWG1, outplayed even the most formidable of opponents on the field today. He proved that multiplayer is not the only place he can thrive, but single player is his domain too. Thank you for tuning into the 12-4, and we'll see you in the next tournament.